the idea of Invincible is not just training, or not just martial arts, not just tricks, not just strength training. It's an idea. It's an idea. No matter who you are, what you look like, what your background is, where you come from, how you built, you can achieve great things in life. But the problem is society, or friends, or even yourself. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and we let ourselves slip down, right? So when we let ourselves slip down, we're losing that fire that's inside, and we're losing the essence of who you are. You're born to become great, and when I've spoken to thousands and thousands of people, right? Anytime I ask someone, do you feel something inside you? At the end of your life, you'll look back and say, I'll live a great life, right? 100% everyone says, that's true. I was born to live a great life. I was born to be great. True? You guys agree, right?
Yeah.
So then, to me, Invincible is the fight against mediocrity, right? It's that fight against people allowing themselves to be mediocre, be average. People become mediocre because they're scared. Does it make sense? Because of fear. They fear that if they try hard, people will laugh at them. Or if they try too hard, they fail. You know, that's fear. But if you can overcome that fear, no worries. You become extraordinary. And when you become extraordinary, that's when you inspire everyone else to overcome their fears. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
That's the movement, right? So our goal is to help as many people as can to overcome that fear of failure, overcome fear of what people think about them, so then they can discover that fire that's inside of them. You know? So there are two things that I want you guys to really understand. It's moving into the black level. So invincible comes from the Latin word invincibilis, right? Invincibilis means you can be defeated. Invincibilis means you cannot be defeated. Doing the black level, you go through so many obstacles. You go through so many obstacles, you know, from beginning all the way to now, and you're going to be tested. You're going to be challenged, not only physically but also mentally. But by overcoming that, it's like this. You come through with this feeling like you can do anything, right? Even with when we do our level up. For the adults, and we do the obstacle courses for the high levels, we take them through this course where I want to draw out their potential, right? They've got to really tap into their spirit, because you know how sometimes, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say if you're going to break a board, right? You can muscle the board, you can try and muscle it, but get to a certain point where your muscle will only get you so far. But when it gets you so far and you cannot break the board, you need to tap into something else. And that's something else we call your latent ability. It's an inner fire, you know? And everyone has it. You know, when you see the greats, you know, there's a fight that just shoots up, and they go insane, like they go really strong, you know? So I want you guys to learn to tap into that fire when you need to. You know, not only when you have to, but anytime you want to, you're about to tap into the fire. So I like to train people to tap into that flow, and you can see it when someone taps into that flow. All their combos are smoother, they're more powerful, and their body and mind become one. That's beautiful. That's art. That's artistry. You know. So yeah, there's the raw power which people use their body for. You know. But when you combine your body, your mind, your spirit together, when you break the board, it's like butter. You know, and it's the amazing things. And I want you to learn to apply that into your kicks, your punches, your movement, the way you are. That's the thing about the latent ability. So. To do that is about tapping into something higher than yourself. Okay? So when you tap into something higher than yourself, what are you doing? You're letting go of fear. You're letting go of what people think about you. You're letting go of all that, then you experience something amazing. And oftentimes when I do the grading and we finish and we sit in a circle like this, and everyone that does the high level grading, they sit together and we debrief, and everyone's like feeling like this thing called euphoria. They feel like, oh, like wow, like you feel amazing, you know? And that to me is like the highest level of life. Most people don't even feel that. Most people numb themselves. Most people, you know, they scroll social media, they numb themselves. They never experience what true potential is like. You know, there's a beautiful quote I heard many years ago. One of the worst tragedies or one of the worst things you can do in life is to live through at the end of your life and never experience your potential. Imagine that, right? Go through the whole of your life and you never experience your potential. What a waste, true? So when you do a black belt, especially with us, our level up, it's your opportunity to experience your potential, and that's my goal. If you can experience your potential, you're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna go out and you inspire people. Like we talk about, we rise together, we inspire together into this life. That is the goal. Okay. So take your black level grading as serious as you can. You know, make it as as do the best that you can. And then from there, there's levels to this stuff. There's layers to this, you know. So once you achieve the black, there's a higher level. There's a higher level. Every level gets deeper and deeper, and every level you discover more and more about yourself. You know, I've been doing martial arts for 22 years now, and every year I discover more about myself, even more. You know, it's an art, and it's not about adding more stuff. Here's what people don't understand. People think that you get higher, you're adding more and more. It's weird. Bruce Lee used to say, the more you go higher, the more you go deeper, not high, not more, add more. Like a sculpture, right? To make a beautiful sculpture, you don't add more stuff to it. You sculpt away until you become perfect, you know? So it's not about trying to learn 1,000 different moves and then like, oh, I don't, you know? But it's about mastering your body. You only got one body. Master that body so you can do 1,000 moves. Does that make sense? It's a different mindset. A lot of martial arts, that aren't deep, what they do is they teach you thousands of techniques and try to get you to master it. They grade you on 1,000 different techniques. We have a bunch of techniques, but I don't like to give you a whole bunch of techniques. Because you're on the streets, you don't need 1,000, you don't need it. You need a few, but more importantly, you need to master your body. If you master your hands, your speed, your power, your flexibility, your mind, boom. I give you any technique, you'll master it. Does that make sense? That's my goal for you guys. Yeah. So do you see how it's a different way of what most people do?
Yeah.
But it's a much deeper way. Okay? And that is what you can apply into everyday life as well. Alright? So with that, let's get started.